Uh, you lost to Buffalo.
Come on, man. I won the game. I get to make the jokes for this.
I'm sorry, which one of us lost to Buffalo?
No, 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 no. That's not the way this works, man. You gotta give me my one.
And that would be a loss to Buffalo.
Man, I spent the last hour thinking of funny shit to say.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Go ahead.
Okay, alright. So there's the bear.
You lost to Buffalo. Low quality fans of a team that loves to disappoint, welcome back. That is not a dub. Not right. I'm not actually that frustrated about this. I'm doing the video right after the game. I'm not that pissed off. Overtime is like that. Bergie blew a tire. Our defense was terrible all game. Vladar stood on his head. It's fine. I can let this game go. But if we lose the next one, Vladar starts. Halak is out with COVID, as you may have heard. We'll talk more about that later. And Bjork gets taken out for DeBrusque, which is fine, but then you consider that Senyshyn is still in and Koolman's still in, and I'd kind of rather have Bjork. This entire game was wide open. The defenses did not play well. The goalies did and made a bunch of huge saves, but not all of them. 10 minutes into the first, and it feels really even. It feels really open, and of course they're going to get the first one. When's the last time we got the first one? Provorov is up at the blue line. He fires it into the slot. It bounces around. Vladar goes to dive to grab it. He tries to pull it in with the stick, but he ends up just smacking it over to the left. Konechny's there, and he just buries the open net puck. We respond really well, and we have a ton of pressure on their side, but nothing seems to be going in until late in the period. Zaboral absolutely trips Voracek on the wall, creating a turnover for us. Coyle picks up the loose puck, gives it to Koolman on the far right side. Koolman waits, and then absolutely nails the top corner. It's 1-1. That was a trip that should have been called. And it gets funnier with 45 seconds left of the period. We get a power play because Marchand is tripped in a somewhat similar fashion. We don't do anything with the power play right away, but the second period starts and we still have a $1:15 left of it, and 45 seconds in, we win a faceoff in their zone, still on the power play. Grizz gets it up at the point, passes to Pasta on the left. Pasta smacks it down into the slot, and Bergie tips it far right side. That's 2-1 on the tripping penalty. Right after they didn't get the call for a tripping penalty. Oof. The rest of this period is Vladar standing on his freaking head. It will end 2-1. He's having a great night. Our offense isn't for all the chances we've got, and we've had plenty. Worth noting in that second that Senyshyn was benched for the majority of that period. He got 23 seconds late in the period, around the 3-minute mark. 5 minutes into the third, we're up 2-1, remember? Lauzon gets called for a holding. They go to the power play, and unfortunately, Cooch has an absolute snipe. He has it at the top of the left circle after a little bit of zone time from them. He fires a missile glove side. Now, Vladar could see this the whole way. I kind of wish he had this one, but he gets beat cleanly. That's a tie game. And that's how it would end. Another 15 minutes of complete back and forth. Huge saves from both goalies. It was absolutely insane. We go to overtime. You'll see the play 1,000 times. Bergie loses a skate blade 3 minutes in. Sandheim has an absolute one-on-one with Vladar and just beats him high blocker. That is game. The explanation to this game is really quick because there wasn't really honestly a lot to talk about. There's a lot of back and forth chances, but it just kind of felt like we changed our strategy from being a defensive team that struggles on offense to plenty of offensive chances, can't finish a bunch of them, but our defense is terrible. I mean, that's literally my game notes, is Lauzon and Clifton, again, look awful. They look really bad. Comfer makes an extra effort play too often and ends up giving the puck away. McAvoy and Grizz are great, and as good as Zaboral was in this game, he still had some pretty big hiccups. But here's the thing, the conversation is about to turn into something way different over the next 24 hours. The game's over. Vladar played. Halak, COVID positive test. He might be out for 2 weeks with COVID. Rask, still a mystery. Left with the team, but we're not sure if he's playing tomorrow. That means Jeremy Swayman might get his first NHL start. Here's the thing. Everyone's very excited about Swayman, and I get it. I like him. But he has played 2 teams so far this year. That's all the Providence Bruins are doing, is they're playing 2 teams over and over and over again. Because that's how their division exists at the moment. We need to recognize that we keep thrashing these teams. And Swayman's been very good. But this is really early, and this is a tough bring-up. Hold back on those expectations for Swayman a little bit. Also, Vladar, as good as he's looked, please remember, this is probably not our goalie of the future. I love Darth Vladar. I've really enjoyed him. But that doesn't change the years of evidence that he's probably not going to be a number one in the league. It also doesn't change the fact that when you watch him play, way overcommits to some stuff. Gets really scrambly when he makes one save and has to bounce. He gets all over the place. There's too much activity. Some of those great saves we're seeing aren't supposed to look like that. Tuca makes those saves because he's in the right position. It just hits him in the chest. Vladar's a really fun story. And I want him to do great, and I hope he proves me wrong. We're not trading anybody to keep Vladar. Guys, this one's a bit quicker tonight because, honestly, there's just not a ton to talk about with this one. It's a loss. We kind of want to just move on. We've got to compete in the next game. We've got to finish on more chances in the next game. We got the Flyers again, man. This isn't... If we can take 3 or 4 points against them, that's pretty good. I'll be okay with that. Go Bees!